Are dating apps pay to win? If you ask normal people or look around to see what social media says, you would think yes. But as someone who literally started with 0 matches and figured his way out in an abundant dating life, I would say it depends. I already went over the results of a guy who swiped over 1 million times on Tinder in a previous video. And about a month ago, a YouTuber called Zackary got a bunch of views for swiping over 150,000 times on multiple dating apps, and he went over his results with and without paid options. So in this video, I'll go over how these dating apps and their algorithms work, what you get when you open up your wallet, and how much these options cost, and then assess Zackary's results from an objective point of view. You know what that means. It means I'm not going to sugarcoat things. And I'm just going to get straight to the point and tell you that these results are not pretty. If they're bragging about how much they're swiping, it's because they're definitely not piping. So if you're looking to get some action-based advice on whether or not you should pay for dating apps, then I encourage you to stick around and pay attention, because this is the only video you will see on this topic where my goal is to educate you past the BS, not flaunt some dog shit results. Now, before I get real deep into things, I gotta make sure to contextualize everything so things make sense as I get on with it. First off, I gotta give credit to the guy, Zackary, for putting himself out there with all of this. He put his own dignity on the line and made a well-structured and researched video on dating apps and their features, and presented a lot of data to go over his results. He's well-spoken, and his video definitely shows a lot of effort. I even digged a little bit of RuneScape music he used as a former player myself. With that being said, all of my opinions and judgments will be made from my standpoint as a dating app expert. If there's something he's doing that's good, I'll second it. If not, then I'm going to do a little roasting, and I predict that I'll be doing a lot more than just a little bit. Secondly, all of my knowledge and experience on dating apps is based on my own experiences, anecdotal evidence, and external research. I have spent years figuring out how to succeed on dating apps by myself and tested just about everything. Different pictures, prompts, bios, demographic data, locations, and subscriptions. I've made fake profiles for research purposes and remade my own ones numerous times to observe how these algorithms work. Because of that, I have a solid grasp on how these apps work, what factors get better results, and I've used what I've learned to help numerous guys over the years develop profiles that get them abundant dating lives. In short, I know my shit. So here's a brief overview of Zackary's dating app study. He tested the big free apps in the West, Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge, to compare and contrast whether paying for features had any significant effect or not. It seems like he kept his base profiles mostly unchanged, while only changing what he did on the apps by paying for them and using more features. He did most of his swiping from where he lives in Western Pennsylvania, and he's the type of guy who calls women females. And let's be absolutely clear about this now. He was using the apps seriously with the purpose of finding love, not just for content. So Zackary starts by covering his experience with Hinge, Bumble, and then Tinder. I'm actually going to start with Tinder first, then Bumble, and Hinge last, because Tinder was the first dating app released out of the free. It is pretty much the OG mobile dating app, and many of the algorithms and features from other dating apps draw heavily from Tinder. In this case, Bumble was founded by a co-founder of Tinder, and Hinge and Tinder are both a part of Match Group. So let's go over how Tinder and its algorithm works. Anybody with a phone and some internet can create a profile, and that profile is a desirability score based on its receptiveness to desired users through inbound likes and reciprocated outbound likes. This scoring system is similar to the ELO rating system in chess, where basically your profile gets scored better the more likes you get and the better the profiles that you get those likes from. Better profiles get more priority and visibility with other high-performing users, while worse ones lose that priority and get deprioritized. The apps don't determine bad profiles, but figures it out through swiping data and sorts quickly, because the algorithm's main goal is to match users most likely to swipe on each other. I'll demonstrate how this works with 2 decks of playing cards. So let's pretend that your average Joe Schmo decides to make a new Tinder profile by slapping on a few bathroom and car selfies. Tinder will first give him a new boost by inflating his score to start, which increases his visibility to other users he wants to swipe on it. So women, females, he'll start swiping, going left if he doesn't want to match, and going right if he wants to send a like. When you send a like, you'll place yourself into that person's stack based on your profile score. Since Joe Schmo has the new boost, he'll be closer to the top than the average guy. If that user comes across Joe's profile, they have the chance to swipe on them. Depending on if they paid for it, they can know if Joe liked them already or not, which may influence their decision. But otherwise, there will be no indication of it when his profile shows up other than a mosaic image in their like stack. If this user swipes no on Joe, then he is removed from the swipe stack and Joe loses some points for having his like not returned. If this user swipes yes on him, they'll match and Joe will get some points for it. Tinder will then track this interaction of these 2 profiles with these respective scores deciding to match with each other. So because the algorithm's main goal is to match users most likely to swipe on each other, it pays very close attention to each of these swiping interactions. It is hyper-effective and impartial, as it is purely data-based. If Joe Schmo sends out tons of likes to users of all attractiveness and doesn't match with any of them, his profile score will continue to tank, and the app has no choice but to deprioritize him over other users that are more likely to succeed. If he matches with women at around a certain score, then the app will recommend him to more women at that range. On the flip side, if Joe actually has a good profile and gets a lot of inbound likes and a lot of matches from the likes he sends, the app will recommend him to more users and test higher performing women with him until he reaches his ceiling. And remember, all of this is happening super quickly because the app is getting loads of data within a short amount of time. Your profile will be in other people's stacks from just existing, but you'll also be providing much more data with every swipe you send out. So Tinder can quantify hundreds of interactions with your profile within a few hours or days and normalize your score within a very short time frame. Your experience scales with the strength of your profile. Now let's talk about the base app experience and premium features. With base Tinder, you get a limited amount of swipes per day, which is around 50 to 100, one super like, which is a priority like, a distance filter from your current location, and you can see the amount of likes you've received with one of them being teased to you through a mosaic filter. When you open up your wallet, you get access to more features and options. Starting at $9.99 a week, $24.99 a month, or $100 for 6 months is Tinder Plus, where you can get unlimited likes, rewind so you can re-swipe on people you passed on, passport mode, which lets you set your location anywhere on Earth, and hidden advertisements. Then, at $13.99 a week, $39.99 a month, or $140 for 6 months, you can get Tinder Gold, which adds on 5 super likes a week, a free boost each month, which means a short period of time with inflated visibility, the ability to see all of the profiles who like you, and new top picks, which are high-performing profiles that you can spend a super like on. At $17.99 a week, $49.99 a month, or $180 for 6 months, there's Tinder Platinum, where you can get all of that, plus you can send a message before a match, prioritize likes, and you can see the likes you've sent in the last 7 days. It is implied that you get an elo boost if you upgrade your account, which scales depending on what tier you go up to. And finally, we have Tinder Select, which is Tinder's exclusive membership that you have to apply for and pay a whopping $500 a month for. With this, you can send someone a message without matching them first. People you like can see your profile unblurred in their like stack. You can use an exclusive badge to show that you blew money for it, and you can see and be seen by Tinder's most sought after profile. And just to highlight how ridiculous the price hikes have been, Tinder Plus came out in March 2015 and started at $9.99 per month for users 28 and under, and $19.99 a month for users over 28. Tinder Gold rolled out in 2017 and was $14.99 a month for users under 30, and $29.99 a month for users over 30. And Tinder Platinum came out in late 2020 and cost $26.99 for 1 month, $81 for 6 months, and $108 for 12 months. Now, the main reason why I talk about Tinder first is because a lot of these premium features are available in the base version of Hinge. Hinge provides many more features for free to differentiate itself from other dating apps, such as messaging before matching, being able to see your likes as they come in, a single rewind per profile, and being able to set your location anywhere. But you have to pay to use these on Tinder. The main appeal of Tinder is its large user base, as still by far the most popular dating app in the West, and you'd be missing out on a large pool of options if you're not using it. Alright, now let's see how our boy Zackary did. I wonder what his profile picture is.
Are you serious, my brother?
Yep, that tells me all I need to know about how well he did. We should all know by now that superficiality is the name of the game on dating apps, and if you don't like the truth, then you're gonna get burned. From January to February 2024, Zackary used free Tinder and got 3 matches a month. That's not even a match per week. Pretty bad, man. He then upgraded to Tinder Gold and got 4.6 matches a month between March and May. So he got an extra match or 2 per month, so there's some improvement there. Then from June to October 2024, he got Tinder Platinum and gained a significant increase to 14.6 matches a month. He also applied to and was accepted for Tinder Select, but unfortunately for Tinder, he was too late to the punch, so he wasn't able to use it. Zackary tracked these stats per month on an Excel sheet so we can see the monthly breakdown. Damn, my man only got 2 matches in February. Bro definitely had a quiet Valentine's Day. But what we should be getting from these numbers is that his profile is extremely weak. Like, bruh, before he got on Tinder Platinum, he was averaging less than, or maybe a bit more than a match per week. That is not good at all, and would put him as below average on my online dating market chart. And we need to further highlight just how tragic these results are compared to the effort he's putting in. Dude swiped more than 1,000 times in a month for just 2 matches, and was swiping 700 to 1,000 times monthly while averaging 2 to 7 matches. A clear sign of weak profile performance. He then mentions the number of matches he got during his time on Tinder from bots and people promoting side hustles. But I'll explain that after talking about Tinder boosts. He said that he got the majority of his likes and matches using the monthly boost from Tinder Gold and Platinum, with him getting 14 likes in a single session, which is really damn good for him. These boosts inflate your visibility greatly for 30 minutes upon activation and cost $7.99 for 1, $34.99 for 5, and $59.99 for 10. Now let's get into the nitty gritty when it comes to Zackary's results on Tinder. What these numbers tell about him is that his profile is bad, really bad. The fact that this bathroom selfie is his first and I presume best picture tells me that this is the ceiling of his profile's presentation. So while the study from his video starts in 2024, the profile was actually created in 2022. It started off strong with a new boost, peaking at 19 matches in the first month, but then normalizes to around 7 to 10 the following months and slowly declines over the next few years. We have to remember that the Tinder algorithm is mainly focused on trying to match users with each other. So when you have a guy like Zackary swiping hundreds, if not thousands of times per month and only getting single-digit matches, Tinder has no choice but to heavily deprioritize him. Even the undesirable women don't want him, and Tinder has no reason to educate him on how to build a better profile off the app, but rather sells its premium subscriptions and features as a solution. Tinder Gold has pretty much become the go-to upgrade since you can see your likes, which you can't get with Plus, and that alone drives a lot of curious men to pay so they can actually match with someone. And when you upgrade your profile, Tinder is now financially motivated to give you some sort of result to justify it. So that's why even if you have a horrible performing profile with base Tinder, you may receive an uptick in likes and matches once you join Gold or Platinum, because Tinder will push your profile to that subset of users where those handful of likes come from, which are the profiles that swipe on the undesirables. And most of them happen to be spam profiles or bots, because those profiles right swipe on everyone. So that's why if you actually want to be successful on a dating app like Tinder, you have to understand that the algorithm scales with what you give it. If you throw in a bunch of slop to make a profile and thousands of users are continuously rejecting it, then the algorithm will work against you. Each swipe you make reinforces the idea that your profile is undesirable. And if you pay for the ability to make unlimited swipes, then you're just burning money to get rejected more. And if you pay for Tinder Platinum, it will do its absolute best to recommend your profile to people who like that slop, which are bottom feeders and bots. So what's my take on paying for Tinder? It's absolutely not worth it if your profile is trash. If you're already sending out lots of likes and not getting much in return, then being able to send out even more is just going to make things worse. Every premium feature you get for paying does little to nothing for you if the base profile is already in the dirt. Plus, some of these features further implicate how tragic things are for you. Like, if you're a normal guy, you're not going to be sending a message to women on Tinder unless you match with them. But if you're blowing money on Platinum or Select, you can bypass that and slide into their DMs to show how desperate you are. Boosts are probably the most useful paid option, as you can inflate your visibility to be as good as a high-performing profile, no matter how low scoring your current one is. But this boon is temporary, and it is implied that the swiping you do during a boost still counts as regular swiping. It will affect your profile score as such. So to objectively summarize Zackary's results on Tinder, Blood was pretty much averaging a match per week and then gave Tinder over $300 and was willing to give them $500 more to average just under 2 matches per week. These numbers are not it, yo! But let's hop over to Bumble now and see if things change at all. So Bumble started as a more progressive Tinder by giving women the obligation to message first within 24 hours when a match happens. The app functionality was essentially the same as Tinder, except with yellow and bee themed graphics. Once Hinge came along, Bumble was inspired to ask for more inputs from users, such as prompts, advanced filters, and interests. It is basically a mix between Tinder and Hinge now. Remember that Bumble was started by a co-founder of Tinder, and because of that and all the collective experience I have from using the app, it is my belief that the Tinder and Bumble algorithms are extremely similar. So I'm just going to say they perform exactly the same for now. And when it comes to talking about the premium features, it essentially takes most of them from Tinder as well. Spotlights are boosts, super swipes are super likes, and as for subscription tiers, Bumble Premium is pretty similar to Tinder Plus, while Bumble Premium Plus is similar to Tinder Gold, with some slight variations including advanced filters, match extends, and travel mode. The price points differ quite a bit compared to Tinder's as well. A single spotlight will cost you $14.99, but you can save a lot more if you buy more, with 30 spotlights being $2.50 each and $74.99 total. You can actually buy individual super swipes starting at $5 for one and $30 for $60. Now let's look at the subscriptions. For Bumble Premium, you can get 1 month for $59.99. God damn, that is crazy! The option for 1 week is $29.99, 3 months for $119.99, and you can get lifetime access for $300. What the bro? These prices make Tinder Platinum look like a steal, as you can get a whole year of it for less than 3 months of Bumble Premium.
But wait! There's more!
We still haven't even looked at Bumble Premium Plus yet. Let's see. 1 month is $79.99.
Holy cannoli, this is crazy.
A week is $39.99, and 3 months is $159.99. And there's no lifetime option. This is actually insane, but it must be like that because it seems to be working. So what did Zackary do when it came to Bumble for his experiment? He went straight for the lifetime premium at $250. Good job, man. That'll teach them to keep charging these absurd prices. Hell, it's gone up $50 when I looked into it since his video. And his rationale?
And when I purchased this, I calculated that if I was single for more than a year, it would essentially pay for itself.
How, bruh? Alright, let's get into the numbers then. I'm assuming these came within the same 10-month time frame from January to October 2024, since he didn't clarify it. In total, he swiped around 58,500 times, and his yes swipe percent was around 37%, so he was being somewhat picky. But we gotta highlight those total swipes, man. Assuming these were all within the same 10-month period, that meant he averaged 5,800 swipes a month, which comes out to around 195 swipes a day. Sheesh. Moving on. In terms of being swiped on, he got 373 likes, and Bumble also provided data on how many people swiped no on him, which was a whopping 15,238 times. That comes out to an inbound like percentage of 2.39%.
Yikes.
The rest of the math gets pretty iffy, as he says that he has 26 matches and divides that by his total swipes to get an absurdly low match rate. I don't think this is accurate, as he doesn't provide a complete picture of where these matches came from. He had 373 likes sent to him, but I think some of those were reciprocated likes. Either way, the end result of getting those number of likes and matches over 10 months with that amount of swiping hasn't been tied to him. Now let's talk about the third and final dating app involved, Hinge. Hinge took the online dating world by storm because it imposed a lot more input from users in an effort to create more meaningful interactions. You are required to post 6 pictures or videos of yourself, make 3 text prompts, and optionally provide some level of detail to who you are, what you do for work, where you went to school, and what types of beliefs you have. They also created a revolutionary feature to combat the mindless swiping Tinder and Bumble had to offer, messaging before matching. Because of these features, users should be able to get more information on prospective matches, be able to start interactions off on a good foot, and have more meaningful interactions within the app. It does call itself the app to be deleted. Hinge, in many people's eyes, became the best dating app in terms of user experience and had the most functionality within its free app. And a lot of other dating apps started stealing these features for themselves, with some disgustingly making them premium features. Now let's talk about the Hinge algorithm. From my understanding of it, it is not one that punishes you for overswiping like Tinder and Bumble does, but rather there is a level of parity to it. And the main thing that comes out of its profile scoring is your profile's visibility and order in the swipe and like stacks. So at base, it works pretty much like Tinder's algorithm. Get more likes, score goes up. Get more X's, score goes down. But the swiping and liking experience is entirely different. When you create a profile, your swipe stack starts with a bunch of high-performing profiles within the area and parameters that you set. This is meant to rope users in and show that there are highly desirable people that you can shoot your shot at and potentially match with. But after going through a good number of these, the deck will completely flip over and you will swipe from the bottom up. You will go from looking at some of the best profiles to the worst ones. This is how the swiping experience may look from your end, but how your profile does determines where you show up in other people's swipe stacks. If you spend enough time or pay to get unlimited likes, you will eventually get through everyone within your parameters, with the best performers being at the end. And you will have to either expand your parameters, or you can reset the deck and go through everyone again. But how Hinge handles likes completely changes things. When you send a like to someone, not only can you include a message with your like, but you will appear as the first person on their like stack until someone else sends a like to them. When you are the first person in someone's like stack, you get full access to their profile and can use that to make an informed decision. Every other profile just shows their name, their first picture blurred, and a preview of how they liked you. But the way the like stack is set up encourages users to go through their stack and not let it fill up. And this lets people spend more time looking at profiles before they make a decision to match or not. You don't have to go through a paywall or swipe indiscriminately to have a chance with someone. You just shoot your shot and based on how Hinge operates, you should be given more than a fair chance by most users. And Hinge uses profile scores to recommend profiles in different areas. There's a section called Standouts where you have choices of high-performing profiles that you can send a rose, which is basically a super like. Every day, you will be sent a profile deemed most compatible, which is numerically and behaviorally determined by the algorithm as a user most likely to match back with you. And as you go through your swipe stack, you will get occasional new users that are prospectively more desirable than the profiles you're currently looking at. Now let's see what you can get from Hinge by opening up your wallet. Every week you get a rose for free, and if you want to get some more, you'll have to get a bundle. It's free for $9.99, $12 for $29.99, and $50 for $74.99. What the hell are those jumps between tiers? Next is their boosts, which last for an hour compared to 30 minutes on Tinder and Bumble. It's 1 for $9.99, 3 for $26.99, and 5 for $39.99. You can also buy a 24-hour super boost for $29.99. Lastly, let's talk about the subscription tiers, Hinge Plus and Hinge X. At base, you get to send around 5 to 10 likes a day to incentivize being more selective. With Hinge Plus, you can send unlimited likes, see all the people who like you, set more dating preferences, sort all incoming likes, and browse by who's new or nearby. This will cost you $16.98 for a week, $34.99 for a month, $64.99 for 3 months, and $100 for 6 months. Going up to Hinge X gives you algorithmic boosts by getting recommended to your matches sooner, enhanced recommendations, and priority likes, which keeps your likes at the top of their list. This will cost you $24.99 a week, $49.99 a month, $100 for 3 months, and $150 for 6 months. Sure! With all this being said about Hinge's user requirements and functionality, one's Hinge profile should be the litmus test on just how good their dating profile is in general. Let's see how Zackary did. So he used this Hinge Data Explorer site to parse his match data, and with over a year and a half of swiping on Hinge Free starting from late June 2023 to October 2024, Zackary sent out 1,942 likes and received only 6 inbound ones. He had 90 total matches, with 84 of them coming from the likes he sent out, and the other 6 reciprocating the inbound ones. Now, I do have to point out that this data is not entirely accurate. This Hinge Data Explorer site utilizes a file from the data you request called matches.json to attempt to summarize your match data. If you go into the folder with your Hinge data and open up the web page and then go to the matches section, you will see that Hinge tracks all of the likes and matches that were initiated on your end. So the number for likes sent out should be correct, but it's off on the receiving end because it doesn't count the likes you reject, as he states that he actually had a couple hundred likes over this period. So there's definitely something funky going on there. It also seems to not count matches that you remove on your end properly. He does draw the conclusion that as a guy, he got more of his matches from actually swiping rather than waiting for them to come to him. That is correct. Such is the game we're met. Zackary decided to upgrade to Hinge X for November, and we can now get a better picture of how his profile performed. So he sent out 105 likes within 9 days and only got 1 match. Yikes. He got 7 inbound likes, but then says,
I was also liked by 7 people, which is higher than usual for me. Unfortunately, none of those likes turned into matches.
You're supposed to match them back. He then sent out a rose, and he got 1 himself,
but neither led to a match.
He then does some weird math here and tries to translate the daily swipe rate from his Hinge free period into a projected match rate with the Hinge X data, because he says he swiped way more than normal to get data for Hinge X. No, dude! Your daily swipe rate doesn't matter when you have over a year and a half of actual data of how many of your likes turn into matches. And the Data Explorer is clearly affected by whether or not you remove the match. The one good thing he did here was actually track the data in its entirety during the Hinge X period, so I actually trust it. And as I talked about earlier, Hinge is more than fair when it comes to giving your likes some visibility. So let's face it, Blood is a guy that gets an average of 1 inbound like a day and a match per week from his likes. It is what it is. So now that we've covered Zackary's results from all 3 apps, we have a number of burning questions to answer. What is my base take on all of this? Are any of these premium features actually worth it? And are dating apps really pay to win? Now, I've had quite a bit to say about how well Zackary did on the apps, but hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished. Zackary is the exact type of person that these premium dating app features are marketed to. At base level, everyone has the same opportunity to put together a profile to use on dating apps, but that is where the dividing experience begins. Some people, like attractive women and men, already have good pictures of themselves ready to go, and they're instantly rewarded when other users swipe on them. But most men that are average like Zackary don't have that, so they throw together whatever slop they have and expect the apps to hand them love on a silver platter. And these statistics are conclusive, not indicative. Zackary averages less than a handful of matches per week because his profiles are bad. The results are straightforward and show exactly how people reacted to his profile. Man is swiping thousands and thousands of times and getting little to show for it. And these dating app algorithms know exactly where you rank in comparison to others. They know what the best performing profiles are and can recommend them as top picks. And they know the score levels of profiles most likely to match with you. And the algorithm scales your experience with the strength of your profile. If your profile is good, you will have plenty of matches to work with. If it's bad, you will get next to nothing. But dating apps won't remove you from the pool for just having a bad profile. So what are you supposed to do about it? Well, if you develop some common sense, then you'll realize that the issue must be the quality of your inputs.
There might be an issue with their pictures, prompts, or maybe they just come across better in person.
See, even Zackary has some self-awareness. This is a guy with a few 100,000 subscribers that's brave enough to record himself talking in open areas. Yet he's leading his dating app profiles with a bathroom selfie because for some reason, being aware is just an idea to him because that would mean actually taking accountability for his lackluster results and improving himself outside of the apps. And it's not in the best interest of these dating app companies for that to happen. So these apps sell you on getting better results by upgrading your experience. If you get Tinder Gold, Bumble Premium, or Hinge Plus, you can swipe a lot more, use boosts, get priority likes, and see who likes you so you can get more matches. But simply paying for dating app subscriptions doesn't work if you give it a bad product. More swipes will equal more rejections. Doing something extra before matching when regular users just send a like shows desperation. And God forbid you show prospective matches your $500 badge of honor when you force your way to the top of their likes. The algorithms will still give you some benefit to appease you because they can definitely give you more matches by recommending you to the auto right swiping automatons at the bottom of the heap.
It's clear that many of these algorithms are designed more to get you to keep paying than actually help you find matches.
Yeah, dude, these apps can charge a buttload because guys like you keep paying for them. My God, you are a dating app cash cow. You spent a few hundo on Tinder and were even willing to pay for Tinder Select. You bought Bumble's $250 lifetime subscription, and you bought a month, maybe even more, of Hinge X. This is the exact type of mindset and result that they want from you. Refuse to acknowledge your own shortcomings and look to the apps for shortcuts and solutions. You're not getting many matches, and improving your profile will actually take substantial work off of your phone. But why not tap a few buttons, delete some money from your wallet, and you can infinitely flick your finger more. Yeah, the apps claim to give you more matches and dates. It might not deliver on that, but otherwise they give you exactly what they say they will. But those features will never make a bad profile become good on its own. And also, these apps have no control over how many dates you can create out of those matches you get. That is an entirely separate skill on its own. This delusion that you should just get dates and matches from existing and swiping on the apps is what keeps guys paying more, not the algorithms. The ideal dating app cash cow is someone who keeps blaming the algorithms and sticks around with an active subscription. Zackary fits a certain archetype of a guy who generously enables this system to keep going. But he's got that YouTube sponsorship money, so I guess it really did pay for itself. So are any of these premium features actually worth it? A guy like Zackary is going to tell you no, while actively holding a lifetime subscription to Bumble. But if you ask me, I would say that it depends. In the past, I have tried each of these subscriptions at least once. I've used Tinder Gold for a while when it was still reasonably priced, and tried Bumble Premium, Hinge Plus, and Tinder Platinum for at least a month or two. What I can tell you is no matter what subscription I had, my experience always boiled down to the fundamental level of scaling with my profile. If my profile was good at the time, then I did better when I subbed. If it was okay, then I pretty much stayed that way. No feature significantly changed my ability to get more likes and matches because it all still came down to what was on my profile. Also, the thing about a number of these premium features on most apps is that they stole them from Hinge Free. Hinge Free is so good on its own because of the ability to send messages before matching, location setting, aka travel or passport mode, and some useful filters such as distance, age, and race. Being able to do those on Tinder or Bumble will cost you at least a steak dinner, which is ridiculous. So if you're a guy who has piss poor dating results, what are you supposed to be doing to solve your dating life? It should be clear that throwing hundreds of dollars at dating apps while leading with a bathroom selfie is not the answer. It always comes back to the fundamentals. Take better pictures, be less cringy, and have a plan with your interactions. Because the issue with this is that you have to be honest with yourself and take accountability. You have to look at what you're putting in the data and admit that things aren't working out. If you're a guy like Zackary, that means making the correlation that these pictures and prompts are causing less than a handful of matches a week, which are probably at his standard or lower of quality. The first step is recognizing that, and the second would to actually be doing something about it. And I don't mean making a YouTube video to highlight the absurdity of it. And if I haven't made it clear already, I took the time to learn all of this for myself and have been able to replicate it systematically and create amazing results for other guys. You don't have to go for the struggle of figuring it out on your own when you can get someone like me to do it for you. I helped Steven, an optometrist who also put up dating until his late 20s, instantly get abundance with dating and have a meet-to-meet moment within a few weeks. And I've helped many others get their dating lives off the floor and start getting options so they can work towards fulfilling whatever their hearts desire. And because I understand how these dating app algorithms work, I encourage my clients not to pay for premium features to start. The profiles will take off with their free versions because they're good. And if they want additional features or results, they can choose to pay for it. And believe it or not, there are plenty of high-performing guys who pay for subscriptions like Tinder Platinum because it amplifies their success even more. Take my client John from my photo shoot process video. He started as someone like Zackary, who was barely getting anything on the apps, and after the photo shoot, he was able to get about 50 likes in a week and even got a lay out of it. He decided to purchase Bumble Premium for a month to use travel mode and secured himself 2 more dubs with a trip to New York City. This is how you make a premium feature worth it. Create a Bumble profile first, test to see how it does on the free version, and once you verify that gets you great results, then you can supplement additional features to get even more. And the ROI from getting appealing pictures of yourself to build killer dating profiles is infinite, as you will always be able to use them to get dates as long as dating apps exist. Even one new great picture should give you significantly better results than a dating app subscription. So in the end, are dating apps really pay to win? If your profile gets lackluster results like Zackary's, then it's pay to lose. But if you instead invest time and effort into building an attractive and appealing profile first, then you don't have to spend a dime on dating apps at all. And if you're winning already, you can win even more with an upgrade if you'd like to expand your horizons. In the end, who do you think we should be listening to when it comes to dating apps? Is it the guy who threw together whatever slop he had, made little to no changes to it over the years, and spent all of that time mindlessly swiping and attributing his lack of results to algorithms and capitalism? Or is it the guy who played the game, took accountability for what he was doing, devoted significant time and effort to figuring things out, and then systematically elevated both his own results and others without blaming the apps? That depends on who you want to be, and I know exactly where I stand. You can come join me if you wish. So that's it for this video. If you're still here, I appreciate you as always, and you should like, subscribe, and let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to join the Discord and apply to work with me one-on-one if you want the fast track to getting your dating life sorted out. As always, stay based, and hopefully you're not projecting to get just 2 matches for Valentine's Day. Bye-bye!